Hello friends, this is Ankit Gupta from AG Industries. So today we are going to talk about various types of t-shirt printing possibilities. So as you know, t-shirt printing business is a very happening business currently. So we are into the providing different types of t-shirt printing equipments. So initially we will start talking about what are the various types of possibilities. So I will suggest you that you watch the video till the end so that you are in a situation to make a decision so as to what will be the right technology or what will be the right type of machine for your particular business. We will start with the first one, which is heat transfer vinyl printing, which is also sometimes known as heat HTV printing basically. So in this particular technologies, we will require two particular products. One will be a cutting plotter and second will be a heat press machine. So, and talking about what are the possible fabrics, this can work on majorly most of the fabrics, which can include cotton, polyester or polycotton blends. So, and next we talk about what are the colors possible. So here again we don't have a color limitation. It is equally possible on a light fabric or a dark fabric. Okay, yeah. And talking about the other possibilities in terms of design selection. So here, since you are going to basically cut and heat transfer, so you will have to restrict yourself to solid designs, possibly maybe one or two or three colors, simple colors. And the second thing is that you will not be able to print images here, as this is again a cutting based concept. The other thing you will have to keep in mind is that you will have to weed the extra areas. And talking about the images, there is one possibility only when you are going to do print and cut, wherein you will be doing your printing on an eco-solvent printer and then doing the cutting. Yeah, when talking about the advantages here over any other technology is that you can do a lot of special colors, which can include glow in dark, reflective, metallic, puff, flock, and you might have heard of 3D puff printing, which is also possible on heat transfer vinyl in addition to screen. Yes. So next we move on to the next type of printing technology, which is also a very commonly used printing technology, which is basically sublimation printing. So in sublimation printing, you will require number one, a heat press machine, number two, inkjet printer, and this inkjet printer has to be an inkjet printer with the sublimation ink. And next, moving to this, the details of this, the fabric selection will be limited to polyester only, and sometimes very selective polyester blends. Okay, and talking about the color selection of the fabric, this is limited to light colored polyester only. It is not possible to print on dark colored polyester fabric or cottons using the sublimation printing technology. And then we have another, when you compare this to the heat transfer vinyl, the advantage, when you compare this to heat transfer vinyl, the advantage is that you don't need to do any kind of cutting or weeding process. So yeah, when you're comparing the print cost, also this is more advantageous as the print cost is quite lower compared to any other printing technology. Sublimation printing, when you're doing, there is another advantage that you can use the sublimation printing to print on various substrates, which include mugs, keychains, pillows, mouse pads, coasters, frames, and many other gifting products. So moving on to the next technology, we will talk about DTF printing. So DTF printing is something where you will be requiring a DTF printing machine, which is known as DTF printer. It can be a converted, dedicated, modified, original, whatever. Second will be a heat press machine. Where when you talk about DTF printer, the fabric selection here is again an advantage that you can work on major fabrics, which can be cotton, polyester, light, dark, and as I told, the color is not going to be a limitation. It can work on light and dark, as you are going to print with the white ink. The images or the vectors or the logos, anything can be printed, including text. So this prints including the whiting. That is another advantage compared to sublimation printing. And then moving to the next is DTG printing. So DTG printing is another form of printing which is also known as direct to garment printing. So when you talk about a DTG printer, the printing process, you will need a DTG printing machine and a heat press machine. And the fabric limitation will be limited to pure cottons and very limited blends, and there will be a pre-coat process which will be required, which is a very little tedious process and not really acceptable in a small scale printing business. It is ideally suggested when people are doing larger scale business. So we will not go into too much detail of DTGs. And you might have also heard of a process known as UV DTF, which is also similar to DTF, but this is more of a process which is not having as much life as compared to the other processes which we have talked about. So see you in the next video, where we'll talk about the detail about what is heat transfer vinyl printing. The detailed explanation will be given in our next videos, which will be followed on. So you make sure that you like and subscribe our channel to keep getting new updates about various technologies. And so that's all for today. So thank you.